Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
Pam, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. We're going to go ahead and get started with it. You know, we always start with our chin tucks and our head turns. Okay, so seated or standing, just make sure you're nice and lengthened through your spine. Think of that marionette puppet master holding you upright here. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and tuck back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're going to turn side to side for 10 reps total, 5 per side. It was coming back to the center. Here we go. Looking over one shoulder, return, and the other. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, next we're going to do 5 4-count cherry pickers. If you're seated, your legs are going to be wider than your shoulders here. Okay, you're on the edge of your chair. Remember, we kind of reach out, we reach middle, we reach in, and then up. Okay, that's 1 rep. We're going to do 5 of those. I'm going to do mine standing today since it's only 5 reps, okay? And I'm going to show that side profile. So I'm still nice and wide through my feet if I'm standing here, okay, wider than my shoulders, all right? And here we go. We're going to reach out, middle, in, up, okay? All right, here we go. We got 5 reps, seated or standing, ready, and begin. Out, middle, in, 1, out, middle, in, 2, out, middle, in, 3, out, middle, in, 4, out, middle, in, and 5. Good. Okay, moving right along, we're going to go into our Y raise to X chop. We're going to do 10. Okay, I'll do, they're going to look the same seated or standing. Okay, I'll do 5 seated, 5 standing. I'm on the edge of my chair just so I have space for my arms to move here. Okay, this is where we Y raise up, okay, with my palms facing forward, and then we flip the palms and X chop down, okay? All right, and then we're flip the palms and up. All right, so here we go. We're gonna start, we're doing 10. All right, ready? And Y raise up, flip the palms, X chop down. Good. Y raise up, flip the palms, X chop 2. Flip the palms. Y raise up, flip the palms, X chop 3. Flip the palms. Y raise up, flip the palms, X chop 4. Flip the palms. Y raise up, flip the palms, Y raise, or X raise, chop down. Flip the palms. Y raise up. I'm going to 6. Flip the palms. Y, X chop down. 7. Y raise up, flip the palms, X chop down. 8, Y raise up, flip the palms, X chop down. 9, Y raise up, flip the palms, X chop down. And 10, I got a little confused here, drew out that coordination factor. Okay, so here we're gonna do 5 per side, straight arm thoracic twist. So it's gonna look the same seated or standing. If you're standing, I want you to think of keeping your hips facing forward, okay? From the standing position, I'm twisting, right? And I'm following that hand with my eyes, but my hips are not twisting with me. I'm not twisting my hips back. I'm keeping my hips forward, okay? It's going to be easy in the chair because you can't move your hips when you're seated here, okay? I'm going to do 5 seated, 5 standing, okay? and there's 5 per side on this one. All right, so arms out. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna twist. We're gonna follow that that hand with our eyes and then bring it back. That's 1 on one side, do the other side, and 1. Again, and again. That's 2. Again. 3. 4. And 5. 5 more. I'm going to stand for the next 5. 6. You might feel your arms. 7. Keep the hips forward. 8. 9. 2 more. 10. And yeah, and 10. Okay, shake it out there. All right. So next we are doing our hip circles. We're going to do 5 right and 5 left. I'm going to do all these standing because it's kind of hard to break this one up. But remember, you're seated as you're nice and wide and your hip circling from that seated position. Okay, so you're kind of drawing a circle with your upper body here. All right, and it's coming from the hips. Okay, we're going to do 5 one direction, 5 the other. I'm going to do mine standing. Okay, and then you kind of push your butt back a little more for this one when you're standing. All right, here we go. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. So that completes our warm-up. We're going to go into our first block. I liked the format last week where we were doing 6-minute blocks and 9-minute blocks for 5 blocks. So we're going to continue with that this week. Our first pair is the superset. It's 6 minutes long. We're going to do our Rdl Row Combination with a Sumo Squat. Okay, so remember your Rdl Row is my feet are hip width apart. Okay, they're right under my hips here. Okay, and I'm pushing my hips back. Okay. All right, pushing my hips back. I'm trying to stay vertical through my shins here, okay? And I'm nice, you can balance a tray on my back, right? Put a glass of water on my back. I'm gonna row it up, row it down, and then use my glutes to stand up, okay? That's 1 rep. We're gonna do that pattern. If you're seated, you're gonna be on the edge of your chair, okay? And you're gonna hinge down, try to keep that spine nice and long, okay? Row it up, and then come up. Okay, so round 1, I'll do seated. The next 2 rounds I will do standing. And then we're pairing that with instead of a side step Sumo Squat today, for our standing variation, we're going to stay stationary. Okay, so those toes are going to be facing outwards like this, okay? And your knees need to go in the directions of your toes as you lower down, okay? You don't want your knees to cave in, all right? You got to think of pushing them out. So think of pushing those knees out. Okay, from a side view, what that's going to look like is down, up, okay? Down, up. From that front view, see how wide I am here? Sumo, right? Down, up. And see how my knees are in the same direction as my toes? What we don't want to happen is something like this to happen, okay? Like where we don't want to cave in. You got to keep thinking about pushing them out. Now, for your seated variation, guys, this is going to look the same, okay? Because it's going to be, and you know, you might, in fact, if you want to try this, if you can hold on to your chair here and you're able to use a little abdominal strength by leaning back slightly and you want to tap out together, you can do that. That's an in-between, okay? That's an in-between. If that's too much, we're going to stick with what we always do here. Tap, leg extension, okay? All right, so you have 3 options there. Let's get started. My first round I'm doing seated, all right? Rdl Row. Okay, so grab your optional weights. If you don't have weights, just go through this motion without them. Pretend you're holding the weights, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So we're going to hinge it down, row it up, row it down, and then use the glutes to come back up. So we're combining 2 exercises into 1. Staying nice and lengthened. You keep those shoulders back when you're bending forward. Okay, don't let your back round at the top. You want to think of being nice and flat, like you could balance a tray with a glass of water on it. Good. 5 more seconds here. And time, okay? Sumo squats are next. All right, so remember, if you're seated here, we're staying stationary today, okay? So it's stationary, not sidestepping. All right, and remember, if you're seated, it can still look the same as we always do. I'm gonna try that middle one here with you guys, okay? So here I am, I'm leaning back slightly. I'm engaging my core because I'm leaning back slightly here. I'm holding on to the sides of my chair. And I'm kind of tapping my toes in and out. Okay. Get some good abduction here. Sumo squats help work the outside of the glutes a little bit more. You feel it in your inner thighs too. And you can feel the same thing with this middle grade variation. Again, if this is too intense, go to that side step, leg extension, okay? A few more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going back to our Rdl to row. I'm going to move to standing now. Please remain seated if that's best for you, okay? Standing position, my feet are hip width apart, okay? We're going to get ready in 3, 2, and 1. My shoulders are back. I'm pushing my hips back. You can balance that tray with water on it, and then I'm going to row, and I'm going to use my glutes to lift myself to standing, okay? So think of when you're standing back up, don't think of your head just coming back up. Think your glutes are what's making you stand up. All right, that's really going to get that mind muscle connection going. Good. 5 more seconds here. 2, and 1. Okay, moving on to our sumo squats, with or without weights. Remember, you can do that abduction like I did in the first set, or you can do the lateral tap, leg extension, or you can join me right here, okay? Down, I'm pushing up through my heels, okay? Down. Only go through your range of motion. Don't force yourself to go lower than your body wants to go, okay? All right, push those hips back slightly, okay? So I'm gonna come to the side. Notice how my hips lead this first. Okay, my hips come push back first, and then my knees go down, okay? So it's almost like I'm trying to let my butt touch the wall first here. Okay, so hips and then knees work. All right, sometimes it's easy for us to think with a squat, let me just drop through my knees first, but that puts too much stress on your knees, okay? And time, okay, good. We have 1 more set to go through. So we're going back to our Rdl row, okay, seated or standing. So our last set here, feet are hip width apart. Let's get ready, and go ahead, push the hips back. The shins stay vertical, okay? And then finish it off, squeeze the glutes to stand. Staying nice and focused. Just think about what your body's doing right now. Think of its form. Think of the quality of your movement. Think of where you might feel weak and where you might need to improve. But just stay focused on your body. Remember, it's always about quality over the quantity that we do here. We want to do things well and correctly. That's how you engage your muscles properly. 2, and 1. Okay, all done with those. Last set of our sumo squats. Remember, you can do the seated abduction taps, okay, leaning back and engaging that core, or you can stick with what we do, usually the lateral taps and the leg extensions. Here we go, last set. I'm going to do half in the forward stance and then half in the side stance. Remember, I'm keeping those knees in the direction that my toes are. Don't let them cave in. I'm pushing through my heels to come up, okay? My hips come down first, and then my knees go down, okay? I'm gonna come to the side so you can see that. See, hip, then knee. It's kind of almost together, but it's the hip first, the knee second. I'm gonna break down hip, knee. Okay, see that? Hip back, then knee. Okay, versus if I just went through the knees, it would look like this, and that would create a lot of stress time on your knees. Okay? All right, that is block one. Moving right along, we're going into a 9-minute block now. We've got a trio of exercises. We are doing our neutral grip overhead pressing. Remember, we like this one because it's a little bit safer on the shoulders than when we bring our knuckles back. Okay, so we're going to keep our knuckles to the side, our elbows are in front of us here, and we're going to overhead press. This is going to look the same seated or standing. Okay, next one is our sit squat. Okay, right here. All right, with or without weights, sit squatting. Okay, your alternatives are leg extensions. Okay, or, and we will be doing these again later, so I'm just giving you enough. This is just a maybe we're gonna do this one. Our leg press. Okay, and you would just alternate here. Okay, so you have two options for the seated one. All right, and then our final exercise is going to be alt knee raise with an arm pull. So we're gonna, from that seated position, get a little abdominal work here, as well as some mobility through the shoulders and the lats. Okay, so standing and balance, or in balance here. Okay, there are options. I'm gonna start seated. We're starting with our neutral grip overhead press. Okay, if you don't have weights, just go through your range of motion without it. Okay, that's good to work on joint range of motion. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. We are on. So if you're standing, make sure not only your core is tight, but your glutes are squeezed as well. All right, you don't feel the glute squeeze when you're seated because, well, you're seated, but my core is still tight and my body is upright. I control it on the way down, on the easier part, right? I don't go too fast on the way down because that works the muscle on both the lifting and the lowering in then. Good, we have about 10 more seconds here. Then we're gonna go to sit squats, or your alternating leg extensions, or your alternating leg presses. 2 and 1. Since I'm doing a seated variation this first time, I'm gonna opt for my alternating leg press, okay? You can still just do the leg extension right here, if that's a better option, or you can go advanced and do your sit squat, okay? 3, 2, and 1. So I'm leaning back slightly and I'm pressing for this middle variation right here, and I'm alternating legs. I gotta put my weight scale because they don't sleep it. And I'm really pushing through the heel of the foot. Like, imagine you're pushing something away, okay? Engage and activate those muscles. You should feel this in your core, your quadricep, the front of the thigh, and your glutes when you're in that full leg extension right here. Okay, and you're pressing through that heel. Squeeze your butt, okay? Good. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we have a body weight move here. Alternating knee raises, body weight for everybody, whether you're using weights or not. Okay, no weights on this one. All right, so alternating knee raises, we're gonna get our cardio up, our balance, our core. Here we go. Go at your own pace. I like to exhale as my elbows come down and my knee comes up. Exhale, exhale, okay? These are a great seated or standing option. Excellent. 10 more seconds. 2 and 1. Okay, We are moving back into our sit squats, or I'm sorry, round one, neutral grip overhead press. Okay, so I'm gonna go to standing this round. You can stay seated if you like, okay? Remember, with standing, here we go. Not only is my core tight, but my glutes are tight too, okay? Squeezing your glutes helps protect your lower back when you're doing standing movements, especially when you're lifting overhead, okay? I'm gonna exhale up, slowly lower down. Exhale up, slowly lower down. Good. We've got about 10 more seconds here, and then we're moving on to sit squats. And time, okay. Getting ready for our sit squats next, or your seated versions are the alternating leg extension or alternating leg press. With or without weights, okay? My feet are about hip to shoulder width apart for the sit squat, and I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly tap my butt and drive through the heels to stand. Tap, squeeze the glutes when you stand up. Tap, squeeze. Squeeze, okay, you gotta get that mind muscle connection. Sometimes we have sleepy glutes and we need to turn them back on. We need to tell them to wake up. All right, stronger glutes are gonna help with lower back pain, okay? Gonna help with balance. They're gonna help you burn more calories because they're the largest muscle group we have. Five more seconds. And time, okay. Our final one is our kind of our conditioning one here and our ab one, where we are doing our alternating knee raise with that arm pull down, okay? In 3, 2, and 1. We have one more round to go through after this. Remember, you can always start a little late or stop a little early if you need some extra recovery time, okay? The time format is just a guide, right? But we need to listen to our own bodies. Ten more seconds. 5. And time, excellent. Okay, one more round through. We're going back to our neutral grip overhead pressing, seated or standing. In 5, 2, and 1. Remember to tuck and squeeze those glutes. I'm going to show you a side view this time. So you can see where my shoulders lower, or my elbows rather. Okay, my core is tight. I'm squeezing my glutes. And this way I don't feel that arching in the lower back or any stress. This is our last round through. You can always go to an alternating press too. If it starts to get too hard, do both at the same time. Maybe do one, lower it down, and then do the other and lower it down. Alternate those arms if you need to. Last 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Last round of sit squats. Okay, sit squats or your alternating leg press or alternating leg extension for your seated options. Okay, let's get ready. Feet are about hip width apart. We're going to go ahead and begin tapping the glutes down, driving through the heels, squeezing the glutes at the top. Squeeze. Tell your glutes to wake up. Turn on. Morning time. Let's go. Right? I exhale as I stand up. Inhale as I sit down. Good. We have 10 more seconds. And don't stress about the breathing too much. If you feel like the breathing sometimes comes together. That's the last component that comes together with your fitness sometimes. I'd rather you focus on and time. The quality of your form, the breathing will come in time. So if you're feeling frustrated that you're like, oh, but I'm inhaling on the exhale, don't worry about it too much right now, okay? All right, last one, our knee raises, seated or standing. Begin. We're also working our hip flexor here, which is right here. This helps with little things like going up the stairs, right? Strengthening those glutes with the squats, strengthening those hip flexors with these knee raises, right? Three, two, and time. Good. Okay, let's recover. All right, that was a 9-minute block. We're going to go back to a 6-minute block now. Okay, we're in the middle of our workout right now, and we are going to be doing tricep kickbacks. Okay, and our goalpost flies with internal and external rotation. So our tricep kickbacks are going to look the same seated or standing here. Just remember, if you're standing, again, like my shins are vertical. You see that? I'm not like here, like that's not vertical with my shins, right? It's pushing my hips back, like I'm trying to touch the wall with my butt and creating the angle of the thigh that helps with lower back, okay? And from here, my elbows are tucked and I'm kicking back. All right? And we're working the back of the arm right here. Okay, if you ever feel like you start to get tired, come up for a second, stand up for a second, and then come back down when you're ready and start it again, okay? And that's gonna be the same seated or standing. And then same seated or standing, this will just be body weight, okay? We're gonna open, internal, external, close. Open, internal, external, close. Okay, this is really good if you have some shoulder issues and whatnot. Okay, this is going to be a really good exercise. We're pulling. I want you to think of the shoulder blades touching one another in the back as we open. We're going to internally rotate, externally rotate, and close. Okay. All right. So let's get going. First round, I will be seated here with my tricep kickbacks. Okay, you can go standing to start if you'd like. And talk on. I need my water. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to do my triceps from the side so you can see me a little bit better here. In fact, let me turn my whole chair because it feels goofy when I don't turn it. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Let's begin. Remember, if you're standing, those hips are back. And I'm keeping my spine nice and elongated, okay? I'm trying not to round through my upper back and keeping my shoulders back. I'm squeezing. When my arms are extended, whether you have weights in your hand or not, all right, squeeze the back of that arm. You will feel that muscle contract, okay? That mind-muscle connection is really important. Remember how I said too, you ever see somebody who, it seems like their mind's working a little bit quicker than their body wants to go? You ever seen that with somebody? By staying connected with your exercise to your body, you're keeping that neuromuscular pathway sharp, okay? And time. All right, so that means that you're exercising those pathways and you're less likely to have those issues as you age, okay? All right, next exercise, what did I say that one? Oh, our body weight, our goalpost. Here we go. All right, so we are almost, here we go. We're gonna goalpost, all right? Internal, lower, lift, close. Out, lower, lift, close. Out, lower, lift, close. Out, lower, lift, close. Good. Working through your own range of motion. Okay, everybody's range of motion is different, but the idea is we're working on this mobility through the shoulder joint, okay? Really beneficial exercise if posture is leaning forward, okay? If you have that rounded back. And time, okay. So back to our kickbacks. All right, I'm gonna move to standing for these next 2 rounds. All right, so remember my core is tight, If you're standing here, I'm pushing those hips back. Okay, the shins are vertical. And here I'm going to kick back, and I'm squeezing the triceps. So whether you have weights in your hands or not, just talk to them. Tell them to contract. If you have low back issues and you feel like this, your glutes are a little weak or something, you might find, boy, I'm halfway right now, and I just need to take a rest and stand up here for a second, right? That's okay, right? And then come back down when you're ready and continue, okay? I mean, the most important thing is we keep showing up. We keep at it, right? Our best is gonna look different every day. Some days we're gonna have aches and pains, other days we're gonna feel fabulous, you know? And time, okay? Back to our body weight movement here. This is like a posture corrective movement that I really enjoy, okay? Helps us get nice, strong posture so we're not leaning forward. Here we go, our goalpost with that internal and external rotation. Open, lower, lift, close. I'm gonna show you from the side. Open, lower, lift, close. 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 Open, lower, lift, and close. Okay. All right. Is that our 3 sets already? I believe that was our 3 sets already, wasn't it? Okay, so moving right along. All right, that 6 minutes went fast on that one, didn't it? Moving right along, we're going back to our last 9-minute block here, okay? And then we have one more 6-minute after that. This is our tummy one, all right? It's our seated option is our single leg seated leg press for all 45 seconds. I love this exercise by leaning back slightly, just like this. You see how I'm doing this, right? But I'm still on that marionette string. I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm right here. I'm actively engaging my core. I'm holding on and pressing away, bringing back, okay? Great exercise, all right? You're feeling your core, your quads, your butt. Okay, so that, and then, you know, our standing option, my chairs here, are static lunges. I know. All right, but we want to be good single limb exercises here. We want to train single leg here, okay? And then we're pairing that with bicep curls. All right, bicep curls, just like this, with or without weights, okay? You can alternate, okay? So that is our next block, and then we have one more block after that, which will be a cardio block, okay? So let's get ready. I'm going to do the first round seated, and oops, discard. Okay, I'm going to start from the top here. All right, so I'm going to do the seated variation first of that leg press. Okay, and actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that side profile. I'm always facing forward. I'm going to show you the side profile today just so you can get that visual. I'm a visual learner. I like to see things. I get it better. So, but I want you to see this side too. Okay, let's go ahead and get ready. I'm starting with the seated leg press, or you can do your static lunge in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so I'm straight through my spine, leaning back, pressing through the heel of my foot. Exhaling as I press that away. I imagine I'm like pressing a boulder away. I don't know why. So it's the first thing that comes in my head, like a big giant rock. I'm just pushing away from me. That's going to help you engage your muscles. A little external healing. Feeling it already. I don't know if you guys are, but this one gets me. That's why I like it. I like the hard ones. Almost there. We got 5 more seconds. And time. Okay, shake that one out. You can sit up here. You're seated with me here. We're going to get ready to even out and do that other side. Okay. In 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, lean it back, nice and long through the spine. Okay, don't round through. And then on the heel, press, extend, bring it back. Remember, this is your workout. That time is just a time, it's a guideline, okay? So you know, if you need to shave 5 seconds off that, that's totally fine, okay? Or whatever, you know, whatever your number is. If you need to take a little time off to recover more, please do that, okay? The important thing is the consistency, right? Keep on showing up and keep on putting the work in. 3, 2, and time, okay? We're moving on to bicep curls. I'm gonna do these ones seated for the first round, all right? You know, remember our progress, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Even if you don't have weights here, I just want you to think of the front of the arm now, okay? Think of this bicep peak right in the front, okay? You know, and remember too, our progress is not just like this like linear line upwards, right? Progress sometimes, like, you know, if you have minor setbacks, you might get sick, you might not be able to work out for a week or something like that. Like that's okay, that's life, that stuff happens, all right? The trick is just always coming back to it, and you will progress, right? It's not gonna, you know, you'll have your setbacks from time to time. You know, you might get injured or, so, you know, anything can happen, but you just keep on coming back, and that's the key. Time, okay. I'm moving on to static lunges. You can stick with the seated leg press if you'd like, that I just did in round 1, or you can join me for the static lunges. Okay, so I am here. I have space between both legs here. All right, I'm lowering down. My heel on that front leg is connected to the floor. Okay, you don't want that heel popping off. You're gonna have to readjust your stance a little bit if that happens. Go through your range, okay? It's okay if it's a half a rep. If you're like, oh, I'm not going down as low as Elaine is, that's okay. You know, if it's right here and you can push through that heel, do the half rep, okay? Get good in that half rep range. That will get you stronger to do full range, okay? And exhale on the way up. Pushing through that front heel. 2 and 1. Good. We're basically working that front leg. Let's get ready for the other leg. But you may feel some residual benefit in that back leg as well. Okay, but we're mainly focused on this front leg. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna lower down. Press the floor in with that heel. Okay. Don't let the heel pop off. So as I lower down, it's a little more quadricep strength in the top of the leg. And as I press up, it's more my glute pressing through the heel. You may feel a little bit in the front of the leg, on the opposite leg. But I want you to keep your thoughts and focus on the front leg, okay? I always say quality over quantity, okay? Just focus on your form and technique. We're not worried about, but I want to get, you know, 10 in or something like that. Don't worry about that right now, okay? That comes in time. That comes from just learning how to do it properly. Bicep curls are next. 2, 1, here we go. When you're standing, again, make sure you're squeezing your glutes. That's going to help protect the lower back. And I'm squeezing the front of my arm. We use our biceps a lot in daily activities. Even things you don't even think of, like pulling wash out of your washer. You're using your biceps, right? Like little things you just don't think about, you know? Almost there. 2 and 1. Good. One more round. Back to our seated leg press on one leg or our static lunges. Okay. You can take a little extra time if you need it. Otherwise, in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. I'm lowering down, driving up. The chair can help us that way we don't have to focus on the balance so much, we can focus on the muscle contraction and the mind muscle connection. Remember, half range might be good for you. It might be a good place right here. Look, I'm not going all the way down, but I'm focused on thinking about my muscle, okay? And remember, a little discomfort's not a bad thing, you know? We want it to be a little bit hard and challenging. What we don't want is that acute pain, that acute sharp pain that is our body telling us, whoa, okay? So you need to recognize the difference, right? Okay, let's get ready for that other leg. Last time we do lunges today. Well, at least for me. I don't know if you guys plan on doing lunges later. 2 and 1, here we go. Down and drive it up. Good. I'm exhaling as I come up. I'm really thinking of pushing that heel into the ground to lift me up straight, right? Think from the floor up versus from like your head lifting up, you know, from up, okay? So the floor, pushing the floor away is what's lifting you up. You're almost there. We have 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Last exercise in this 9-minute block is our bicep curls, and then we're on our last block already. I feel like we're moving nice and quick today. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Seated or standing. Just remember, if you're standing, you got that glute squeeze going on to help keep the lower back protected. Make the mind muscle connection too. Think of those biceps, right? When you're at this top end, think about that squeeze. Squeeze, right? Get that blood flow to the muscle. We get some water after this and recover. Good, 10 more seconds. Put this 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. Go ahead and get a drink. All right, let's play our last block, which is a superset. It's 2 exercises, and it's cardio. Okay, we're doing a little bit of cardio to finish off with. We're going to do our butt kicker and mid row. Okay, our standing variation right here. All right, so again, we're thinking of squeezing those shoulder blades together in the back, okay? We're getting that mid to upper back, which is gonna help, you know, if we have a posture that's kind of like this, that's gonna help us pull us up like this by strengthening those muscles in the back. And we simultaneously get a stretch through the front of the shoulder, which is often tight, which rounds our shoulders forward because we're tight through here. Okay, so when we pull back like this, we're stretching the front, okay? Your seated option, remember you're on the edge of your chair, your toe tapping back, okay? And then we're pairing that with, I haven't done side step shuffles in a while, so I thought it'd be fun to do these, okay? I like shuffles a lot. So your standing option is shuffle, 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 tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. Okay, and then your seated option, you're going to give me 3 taps per side. Tap, 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 and then the other side. Tap, tap, tap. Okay? All right, so let's get ready. Your first round, I'm going to do seated as always. Okay, and we've got that butt kicker in mid row. This is all body weight. We're just trying to elevate the heart rate and get a lot of joints moving here. Okay, here we go in 3, 2, and 1. We are doing our butt kicker with that mid row. So again, think of the shoulder blades squeezing together in the back. Okay, like if you had an egg between your shoulder blades, could you crack the egg with your, you know, like a nutcracker with your shoulder blades? Think about how the front of your shoulders is stretching out as you're squeezing the back. Okay, strengthening the back, stretching the front. We're also getting those hamstrings involved by kicking back. Good, 5 more seconds. Breathe how you need to here. This is cardio, okay? And relax, okay? Next one is our shuffle, 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 tap, okay? So 3 shuffles, and then if you can tap, you don't have to tap down to the ground if that's too much though, okay? That's just an advanced option. Otherwise, you're gonna be with me, doing 3 lateral taps per side. And you know what, maybe if you wanna add a little bit of upper body, you can add some arms here because the standing option 3 has a little more cardio to it. 3. And you can always rest your arms if you need to rest. Tap, tap, tap. So we're getting some good glute med. We got to work in the different planes of life here, like this lateral direction, our rotational direction, and our front and back direction. 5 more seconds. And time, okay. Back to the top, I'm gonna go to standing for the next 2 rounds. We've got that butt kicker with that mid row again. Remember, I really want you to think of the focus of your posture here, how we strengthen the back right here and stretch the front, okay? Here we go, begin. All right, we challenge our balance by shifting our weight from side to side too. Going onto that single leg stance. Good. 10 more seconds. Pull those elbows back, back, back. 2 and 1. Okay. I'm feeling my heart rate going up here. We got shuffle, shuffle, shuffle with an optional tap, okay? You don't have to tap the ground if that's, you know, if you feel like you're gonna fall forward, please don't do that, okay? All right, or your 3 lateral taps per side. Here we go, ready? Shuffle, 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 tap, shuffle, 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 tap. I want you to look at my hips too. Look how I am, shuffle, 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 tap. You see how they're pushed back? Tap. You can just pretend like you're going to the ground. You don't actually have to tap the ground. Just pretend you're going towards the opposite foot. Tap. Tap. They're like little mini gallops, if you can. And if not, just sidestep it. You don't have to put that little tiny hop in there if that's too much. But they're kind of fun. I like these. Tap. And time, okay, one more time through. All right, back to those butt kickers with the mid row. Seated or standing. Remember, if you're seated, you're just closer to the edge of the chair, so you have room for your toes to come back. 2, 1, here we go. Final round. Past halfway. Excellent, almost there. Last 10 seconds of this, all right? You get those elbows pulling back. Elbows back, elbows back. 3, 2, and 1, good. All right, all done with those. Shuffle, shuffle, tap, or your 3 lateral taps. Okay, remember, I'm kind of like, here's what my hips are doing when I'm doing that, okay? It kind of helps gives me better balance, okay? All right, here we go. 2, 1, shuffle, 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 tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. Tap. You pick your intensity you want to put into this one. Tap. You may be able to go faster than I'm going right here. That's fine if you if you have a little bit more in you than what I'm demonstrating here. And you can even go slower than this if you need to as well. It's not about, again, remember, it's not about speed or how many times you do it. It's quality, 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 right? 2 and time. Okay, guys. Nice work. Whew, heart rate's elevated here a little bit. We're gonna start with a couple of upper body stretches, okay? Seated or standing. Let's go across the body, stretch out the back of the shoulder here. And we do a lot of posture work. So we just wanna make sure we take a little bit of time to release it too, okay? Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Let's do the same thing other side, all right? Pulling it, and I tell you guys too, this is when I have to like visualize, because sometimes I feel like it's a hard stretch to feel. So I like actually try to think about what the muscle fibers in the back of my shoulder look like, and I try to think of them like stretching, okay? And strangely enough, I start to feel it more when I do that. Good. All right, let's get our neck and trap, okay? You know I like this one here. We're gonna press and pull. I do this every day. I do this every single day here. Good. And same thing other side, okay? Press and pull. We all have our little spots that kind of yell at us from time to time. I've got one on this side here. This is my right side. I'm not sure if it looks reverse on Zoom or not. Sometimes the camera looks like the opposite of what I'm saying here. That's why I try not to say right, left too much actually. But this is my right side, and I have like like problems back there. Let's go ahead and put our palms on our small of our back. You can do the seated too. Pull the shoulder blades back together. Feel that stretch through the front. Think of lifting your heart towards the ceiling. Your head can go wherever it's comfortable. You can look up, you can look straight, okay? You can look down wherever it feels okay, all right? You're just trying to feel that stretch through the front of the shoulders and in the forearms as well, where the wrists are. But yeah, so my behind my right shoulder, my right knee, and my right hip. I've got right side issues. And I'm left-handed. So. Okay, all right, let's go ahead into standing here. If you're standing, you're going to do if you can, you're going to put your leg up on your chair, hold on to your chair here, and stretch the back of your leg here. Okay, our hamstrings are often tight, that can cause low back issues here. All right, and then I even want you to kind of flex and point your foot, okay, and feel it kind of creep into your calf as well. Okay, so hamstring and calf. All right, and from your seated position, you're just kind of doing that from I'm on the edge of my chair here, and I'm leaning forward, and I'm flexing and pointing from the seated position, okay? All right, good. Then we'll go ahead and hit the other side, okay? So I'm just going to show the standing options today, but you know what to do with the seated here. And then once you've stretched it for a couple seconds here, just add that movement into it of flexing and pointing through the ankle. All right, and we're going to get the inner thigh and the groin area. Our seated option here is going to be I'm on the edge of my chair. I'm extending that leg straight. I really do love this stretch. This is good for the hip flexors. We did those knee tucks today, okay? And I'm stretching and I'm kind of leaning. See how you feel that. Yeah, I feel it with a flat foot better. Everyone's body's a little different. You're just trying to feel it through this area here, okay? Standing, if you want to do the standing, you can hold on to the back of your chair and kind of do this, okay? So it's up to you what level you're at, all right? And let's go ahead and do the other side. I'm just going to do mine seated because good, all right? Sometimes you have to search for it, you know what I mean? Just move around a little bit until you say, okay, I'm starting to feel that stretch now, okay? And you might notice one side feels a lot tighter than the other, but yeah, I mean, that's normal. You know, we're not completely symmetrical in how our body operates and functions. So, you know, just that body awareness really can really help you in your fitness journey, you know, noticing those little things. All right, let's come back to center. Let's do 3 big inhales up. Ready? Inhale up, palms to heart. 1, Inhale up, palms to heart. Exhale, 2. And one more. Inhale up, palms to heart. Exhale, and 3. All right, guys, that's a wrap for today.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.